What's up, you guys? It's your girl Money, and I'm back with another video. But this video is consisting a good friend of mine. Say, no, this is my best friend.
I was about to say, don't play me.
This is my best friend, Adrianna. And today we're gonna be doing a video on our first year of college. And to like introduce ourselves, first off is that I am a psych major, and I'm a sophomore in college. I did go to Bridgewater. My first year, I went to Bridgewater College, which was with her, and she will, acknowledge that. And then I transferred to Nova, which is a community college, and they're placed around Virginia. But it's a good community college. But we'll get into that and reason why I transferred. So here's Adrianna.
Okay, so like she said before, my name is Adrianna. I am a social major and a social work minor. I didn't even say I'm a sophomore. I go to Bridgewater College, as she said before, and I want to be able to work in inner city schools as a social worker. So that's about it.
Okay, let's go.
The relationships that you make are very crucial. Like there was other Christians around me, but money was like that number one Christian friend I had.
Yeah.
So it was like when I was going through things, like when I was at home, I wasn't a partier, I wasn't none of that. So when I got to school, it's like, okay, I'm away from home, it's time to turn up.
Yeah, I think I went to like when I was at in my high school, like I went to like 2 parties.
Yeah.
Like I think one party, but I really wasn't a party person, like you know what I'm saying. But
yeah. I mean, I really wasn't either, but the parties I went to last year, it was kind of like I did step out my comfort zone a lot.
Yeah.
And it was very hard to keep grounded simply because of the relationships I had with people. It was very hard for me to keep God first.
Like, yeah.
So,
So even just like add on to that, like we like my bad. I'm glad my voice is like better like that.
Yes,
What it was. Right. It was terrible. Y'all, my voice was real terrible.
It was
okay, on my back. We're gonna go back. So, no, like just going back to like add on to Adrianna, what Adrianna was saying. Basically, like it's who you surround yourself with. I remember I talked to my pastor, and I've been telling Adrianna this, but I was just like, cause I tell Adrianna, like we talk every day. But I remember pastor was like, once somebody open their mouth and you hear what comes out their mouth, you not judge off that, but you base everything else off that. You know what I'm saying? You know where your energy lies. And sometimes you first meet somebody like, oh, it's like everything's all good. Some people put on the act and then you start seeing the true color. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And you just basically your energy, your who you surround yourself with is very important. So many relationships were gained on friendships, gained and lost. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just add on to like relationships, don't be so quick to get into relationships in college. Like y'all, I'm not even saying with us, like, but it was so many people just, I need a boyfriend, I need a couple, because I think a lot of people was like, okay, I'm on my own now, my mom, like, cause like legit, I remember we would just be sitting there and we'd be like, dang, we ain't gotta ask, like, I would like probably pick up my phone like, dang, let me ask my mom about go. Oh, I ain't gotta ask my mom to do that. I do whatever I want right now.
But also picking back, like going off of what you said about going into relationships too fast, do not settle. That's something money tells me every single day, y'all. Yes. Like, no lie.
Relationships and friendships.
Settle.
And I think that was our biggest problem.
That was the biggest problem for me. Like, I was just settling for anything simply because, hey, I'm away from home. I get this opportunity. In high school, I didn't really talk to guys like that. Like, I talked to some, but I didn't really talk like that. So I got there and I got a little freedom, and it was just different. And so I just settled so easily with anything that came around. Granted, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. A couple of those relationships were great, and I learned a lot. And I feel like I learned a lot from every single person. But at the same time, just make sure that you never settle, and that's with friendships and relationships. Because here's my thing: if you're gonna pour into somebody, then they need to pour back into you. And I feel like both of us just was running on empty all year. Like,
listen, no, for real, I would like even just like I just bouncing back and forth, but like just like in the beginning, like I mean, we used to always say it's cuffing season. It's cuffing season, not cuffing season. Like that's what our goal was. And like one thing about me was I always tell people this, like anybody. I don't care, like, cause how I was basically, like, with any dude, like, I was, like, probably talking to, I would basically say, like, I'm like, if you talking to somebody, like, you want to talk to somebody, let me know. I'm cool. Mm-hmm. I just don't like people to lie to me. Like, if you doing this thing, you doing one thing, and you doing a whole, like, you telling me one thing, you doing a whole nother, that will make me mad. Like, I don't even care, like, and people might say, oh, like, I remember Adrianna, like, so did you catch feelings? I was like, no, that's not catching feelings. I just hate when people lie to me. Yeah. Like, don't lie to me. Be upfront with me. You ain't got to lie and be like, oh, well, I'm doing it. And then I can find out you doing a whole other thing. We ain't in a relationship. Like, I understand we was in a relationship. We was all, no. Right, yeah.
That's the best thing, just to, like, know yourself. Yeah. Like, know your limits. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm somebody, it's not that, okay, I'm somebody that, if I start hanging around you and stuff like that, I start catching feelings a little bit easier. Mm-hmm. And so you have to be able to know yourself, like, to be like, okay, stop. Like, if this feels like it's not going to work, then I have to remove myself. Yeah. And that's the hardest part, is like, you got to be able to remove yourself. Like I said, when you're a freshman, honestly, you're vulnerable to a lot of things. And it just feels like you have to follow this person, and that person, mm-hmm. this person, that person. Yeah. And you're not able to really sit back and just be like, okay, who am I? Right. And you don't really find that to the end of the year. With most people, it's like, okay, this is who I am. And that's when you see a lot of relationships start to go. And you see God removing things that he was trying to take the whole time, and then it hurts you. Yeah. And you can attest to that.
Yeah, like, I'm legit, like, I mean, me and Adrianna, like, I think we didn't, like, remove people, but, like, I mean, I think I removed the most people, because I think my freshman year, like, I think our goal was that we was trying to help people. Yeah. Like, and, like, it was obvious that we was, like, really there, and it was so many people, like, and we didn't really realize that people was really bringing negativity in our life. Mm-hmm. Like, and we just, like, man, that's our goal was, like, that's our friend. Mm-hmm. And, like, I know, like, even as Christians, like, we have to realize, like, hey, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? We probably going through, and that's not even say Chris. That's with anybody. Mm-hmm. You have to sit there and be like, okay, well, yeah, you can be there for somebody, but you don't have to be there too. You have to have a limit with it, but we didn't have a limit. I will only say with people that I was there for, I did not have a limit with them. I was just like, okay, well, if they did this, I'll be there for them. I remember times I would be in the middle of the night going back and forth from dorm, like, and knew I had school the next day because I wanted to be there for people. I remember running around school trying to figure out if this person okay, if this person okay. Just like, you know what I'm saying? But what the problem was we put ourselves in the back burner, put everybody before us. You know what I'm saying? Because we just was, like, so stuck on trying to help them. And it just, like, and it ended up backfiring on me because it kicked me in my butt after. Yeah. But, I mean, it honestly taught us, like, you know what I'm saying? You can always be there, but have a limit on it. You do not have to legit, because I'm telling you, like, I'm not even, like, just saying for myself, I felt like I was dying. Like, I remember my mom saying this, but I feel like I was suffocating. Like, I remember, like, I'm not even gonna lie, like, when I was with certain people, I feel like I was suffocating, dying. And I remember I would escape to my friend Adrianna or Darlene or Bree room and just be like, you know, and they probably like, man, why she always over there? Like, but legit, whole time, like, I needed air. And I didn't realize why I was so, like, uncomfortable. My anxiety was up. Like, I felt like I was scratching at my chest. I was, like, looking around, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was just felt like everybody was out to get me. And I was like, God, why am I so paranoid? You know what I'm saying? But the funny thing about it, I knew what it was. I remember my mom was like, nah, you can't trust it. Like, you know when your mom tell you can't trust somebody. But, like, you know what I'm saying? My mom would say this, but I knew it was in our face. I didn't funny, like, even Adrian, like, it was in our faces what we need to let go, but we was just like, these are the people that, you know what I'm saying, we want to be there for, we want to hold on to, but we was just like, all right, we're going to still continue to put ourselves in the background. And I'm not gonna lie, even though I tell Adrianna don't settle, but I did settle. But, you know what I'm saying, sometimes we forget, like, okay, well, it's not, you know, you say settling for, like, relationships, like, you know, your boyfriend, girlfriend, but settling is with friendships, too. You can settle with a friend. Legit, like, and that's basically what I did. And I remember I got to a point that I said, I knew God, like, basically pulled me to the side, but God just basically told me, he said, I need you to let these people go right now. And, like, he didn't basically say that, but, like, he said it, but, you know, and when he told me, I was like, okay, but in my head, I was like, oh, no.
Nah, I'm not ready.
I'm not ready.
But God will force you to be ready. Like, that's what people don't understand. God will force you to be ready if you're not ready. And when he forced you to be ready, then you be sitting there crying and stuff. You be like, okay, I tried to show you, I tried to show
right.
you, I tried to show you, and you didn't want to pay attention. And that's what I'm saying. Like I said, relationships are so important because I went through something this year, and Money went through something separate, and we had two totally different situations. But at the same time, like when I was going through it, she was able to like minister to me about, okay, Adrian, this is what you need to do, or this is what you need to do. Not really telling me, but just helping me through it and praying with me and stuff. And so it's good to have people around you who have been through situations who are able to like teach you more about yourself and stuff. So.
And then just to add on to like that, it was like it's okay to let go of people. Yes. I don't care how bad they bash you, talk bad about you, or do anything, but it is okay to say, I'm gonna let them go. And like, I think God taught me one thing. God taught me was to always stay quiet. I'm telling y'all, I stay quiet, I do so much stuff last semester. And like, another thing is like, I stay quiet, but funny about, I really didn't know half the stuff that was going on. But like, I ain't trying to know, but I didn't know a lot of stuff that was being said or being done, and I found out months later. And you know, it ain't, but I knew God was teaching me, like, and God really, honest, like, I always say this, but God really taught me was that if I don't have to show you nothing, if I tell you to do this, that means do it.
Move.
Right, you better move. Because God had told me, He said, just let them go. And I ain't got it, like, because God, but I wanted to know why God, and that's so many times I wanted to, like, just be like, apologize to these people and say, man, I'm sorry, like, I don't know why I stopped talking to y'all. But every time I wanted to, like, something would happen. And I'd be like, what the heck? And I remember going to Adrian, like, crying, like, boo-hoo crying, like, why are they doing me like this? Why is this happening? Why is that happening? And, like, because it hurted me, because, like, at the same time, I still wanted to be there for them. I still, like, because I would, like, in my head, I was still wanting to be their friends, but at the same time, I knew God was telling me, I gotta let go. So I stayed quiet. And every time, and I knew God was, like, telling me, like, Matera, I need you to be quiet. Like, every time I wanted to say, I could not get the word. Because usually, before I come confront people, I would have the words to say. I ain't had no words to say. Like, I was like, Adrianna, I don't have nothing. She was like, well, you have to say it. I was like, I don't know what to say. And I soon found out later, like, why I couldn't say nothing, because it wasn't nothing else to be said. And then, like, even though months later I found out the truth, but really why God was, even though God showed me, because I was being so hard, because I remember calling Adrianna, I was like, man, I should apologize, because I think I just, because I didn't confront, like, not confront, but just basically communicate with them about it. But, and then next thing you know, everybody just started, the guy was like, you don't want to listen to him. All right, I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna show you that. And when I tell y'all, it started punching me. I was like, God, I'm over here dead.
You know, like, for real, when you lose people, you gotta let people go. I understand. God don't ever remove something out of your life and not replace it with nothing better. Like, keep that mentality. That's a mentality I had to have. Like, He will not remove anything that will not. What's I saying, yo? That He would not remove.
People will not replace another. Yeah.
But also at the same time, anything that God has for you, I promise you, you gonna get it.
Right.
So, you know, those are two things I try to remind myself. Like, if it's meant to be, it's gonna be. If it's not, shoot, let it go. I got better coming. Like, that's the attitude you gotta have. And I think another thing is, when you're in those types of situations, don't think why, think what. Like, what am I supposed to be learning from this? What am I supposed to gain from this? You know, like, where do you want me to go next? Where do you want me to move? Instead of saying, you know, why? Because I do that still. You know, like, yeah, so to be transparent with y'all for real, my freshman year, I dealt with a lot of worth issues. So that brought about depression, anxiety, self-harm. Just honestly, you know, just be honest. I lost all touch with God. Like, before I got there, I was like this big Christian.
You know, that's what we was.
I was like, oh Jesus all the time. Like, everybody knew it in school. Everybody knew it. And so I got there and I lost touch with God, and I knew something was missing, so I tried to fill it with everything else. And so I filled it with everything else, and it still wasn't satisfying me enough. And so I was feeding my flesh instead of feeding my spirit. But it wasn't even like, it was like a force feed. Like, I was like, okay, well, you can go out and do this, you can go out and do that, you know, and just do things that I knew wasn't me. And so when I would get back in my room, I just cried. Like, I just want to be so transparent with y'all. Like, I would get in my room and cry. You know, there was a time where I literally just, like, I did cut myself. Like, it got so bad. And I never want to see anybody go through that. But I did go through that. And so it's really important. Like, I didn't know the importance of mental health. Like, I'm not saying, like, my parents were like this whole, okay, well, if you're going through this, you're crazy. No, like, they're very understanding. But I kept it to myself simply because of the stigma that we do have in the Black community. It's like, okay, you're a Black woman, you're supposed to be strong, you're supposed to be this, you're supposed to be that. And it's like, okay, I'm supposed to be all these things, and you telling me to pray about it, you telling me to do this, you telling me to do that, but what are you supposed to do when it feels like God doesn't even hear you? You know what I'm saying? I think we both got to that point. Like, I got to a point that I was crying one day, I was like, God, I just can't do this no more. And, you know, it took a lot for me to get back up. I ain't gonna say a lot. If it weren't for Money and Bree and Darlene, I just don't know. I would have just lost it.
But like, hopefully y'all can meet them. I hope, like, I'll drop another picture. Hopefully y'all can meet them for real. Those like really, like, we was really like the BC Bads. Like, we would always like had each other. Like, I don't care you see one with another, but basically, like, just to even add on to that, basically everybody had a job. Like, you know how you have their friends that basically met for one thing. Like, not one thing, but we was always together. But basically, one helped each other. Like, Bree helped me with politics. I really didn't know really much about politics that much. But Bree, like, I would legit, like, listen to Bree. Like, Bree probably never realized that. I would just listen, like, be so amazed. Like, yo, what? Like, it was just like, she helped me. And she helped me with a lot of more things, too. And, Darlene, me and Darlene we just freaking, that's my sister. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my sister. We, like, and she was there, like, I remember, because me and Darlene stayed in the same place, I don't stay down there no more. But we stayed in the same place, and I used to drop her off down there. And I remember one time, we used to blast music, just jamming. And one day, we just had no music playing. And I remember I just vented to her, like, because at the time, like, it was my second semester, and at the time, I was going through just basically, I had cut everybody, like, not cut everybody off, but, like, cut certain people off. And not cut, I say that bad, cut people, just basically parted ways with them. Like, I was just like, I can't be in this situation no more. And let me tell you, I didn't just cut off. Like, I basically said, like, you know what I'm saying, everything was straight, it was good, but everything just basically wasn't straight on their end. But, I vented to her, and I love the fact that Darlene let me vent to her and just let her talk.
Darlene is a great listener, y'all. Let me tell you, that is one person that will sit there and listen to you
and
shout
out to her. And like, and another thing is like, for mental health, people can vent to you, but realize that do not be a trash can for people.
Yeah, that was Bree saying for us. That was Bree.
Listen, you are not a dang on trash can. That my pastor told me that though. Like, I think a couple of years ago when I told him I want to be a psych major, he's like, do not be a trash can. Basically, wherever they don't let that junk overfill with basically your problem and dump it out. No, when people tell you stuff, don't hold on to that. Like, because you gotta realize, that's negativity, you know what I'm saying? And that's pushing on you, and now you worry, now you scared, now you like, yo, like, what's going on? Like, you know, so what can I do? And now you worry about them, and legit, they probably not even worried about themselves, you know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Darlene, even though she didn't have to, like, you know, let us just ramble on. And, because Darlene, sometimes she don't even talk about what she be going through. We just, like, basically find out later. You know what I'm saying? Even with that situation, even with, like, my situation, cutting people off, like, they didn't know. Nobody knew. Only Adrianna knew, because Adrianna was in the room when my mom basically gave us that talk. And she really didn't know what I was like. My mom didn't really know what I was going. She did, but like, she just didn't know. And I was like, I looked at Adrianna, I said, I gotta let him go. Like, I knew God, because I asked God, I said, y'all, what am I supposed to do? And God kept giving me hints for that whole, like, before I started talking, that whole time, like, God kept giving me hints, kept telling me, and I was just like, what is going on? Like, why is this bad vibes?
Yeah, and don't be afraid to, like, get help. Like, okay, that is most important. Like, I kept what I did to myself for a good minute. I told Bree first, but, like, I kept it to myself because I was like, I can't get help for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to do this on my own. And actually, this year, I ended up signing up for counseling. And it was great, y'all. Like, I loved it. It was actually great. But, you know, and that may not be for everybody, but do what's comfortable for you. Like, you know, but don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to tell somebody how you feeling. Don't be afraid of any of that. But do it with somebody that you know you trust. Do it with somebody you know they ain't gonna lie to you and sugarcoat things. Just be like, oh, no, you doing fine. No, you're not. Like, you know, like, you need somebody that's real. And granted, let me tell you, money, all of them were real with me. Like, it was real, too real sometimes for my emotions, but it's okay. I'm better.
We wasn't, like, because breathing was like, Mateo, you mean. Because, like I said, we had, like, certain people, like, she was like, Mateo, I think you don't being so rough. I was like, well, you being too nice, and that ain't helping. I'm being rough, that ain't helping. I said, and I had, you sat there, and when I sat there and said it, I was like, think about it, I was like, whatever we doing, at the end of the day, we had to sit there and accept the fact that you can yell, scream, and basically, show them this A to Z, and they can know this, everything in the book, and they continue to do the same thing. You have to realize, like,
yeah, because that's when your mental health comes in. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you know what I'm saying?
when you doing that, because, I've done that myself. Like, when you doing that and somebody isn't, granted, everybody goes through something. I'm here for you. Like, I'll listen.
Yeah.
But it's like when you keep on and you keep on and you keep on, and it's like a change will happen for somebody when they're ready to change.
Right.
I'm not going to sit here and lie. When people start to change, they'll remember the things that you told them. They'll remember the things that you ministered to them. They'll remember all those things. But sometimes you just got to let them fall. Like, and I hate doing that. But sometimes you just gotta let people fall on their tail. You just gotta be like, all right, so this is what was gonna happen.
Legit.
And so, and if they keep falling, I'm not gonna be there for them. But just know, like, hey, there's only so much you can do at this point.
Yeah.
And just put yourself first. That's the thing. Like, that's the thing that I forgot. Like, part of this year and last year is like putting myself first. Like, I finally am accepting that and finally accepting my words and finally saying, like, hey, I'm a little bit more important than this whole situation. So I need to take care of myself before, because I know how I get emotionally. And so I have to be able to, like, stop myself when I know, like, hey, you're going a little too far and you're going to end up getting yourself hurt. So.
Because legit, like, I'm not gonna lie, I knew I had some problems. I knew I had some toxic ways too.
Yeah.
And when you choose to, like, focus on everybody else and try to help them and try to fix them, and literally I ain't gonna lie, I try to fix people.
Yeah.
And I'm realizing that you can't fix nobody and you cannot help nobody that does not want to be helped. It's so many times, like, I stressed my butt off for people and broke my back off for people, and not realizing that it was gonna be the same cycle. And I remember it was one time, I think it was something that happened. It was not something that happened, but it was we went to a party, and I was basically true because I was like, and I remember I sat down with them and I was just like, I'm done. I said, I'm done. I can't do this. I said, I'm done. I can't do this no more. Yeah. And like I said, I was still cool with these people, but at the same time, like, I had to, like, just realize I'm tired of this, you know what I'm saying? But then I had to realize, then later on, I said, I got to cut it off and just let it go.
Yeah, so, just do what's best for you is always saying, like, do what's best for you, get help. Do not sit in there and just, like, just don't, like, there were times where I would get depressed. I get so depressed where I would just call somebody as, like, soon as possible, like, hey, can we talk right quick? And then no lie, sometimes people wouldn't answer the phone. And I knew, like, I was like, Adrianna, what you running to everybody else and I'm right here?
Yeah, this me. Oh, Lord, let me talk about it.
Yeah, because, like, we would run to everybody trying to get this thing, trying to get that answer, instead of going to the big answer, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's sitting right there. Right. And it's like, we get so frustrated because we're like, he ain't working when I'm working, he ain't moving when I want him to move. But everything happens in perfect time. Right. I needed to go through that, for real.
I'm legit.
And it's been way stronger now, so.
And, like, God taught me, one thing God taught me was, like add on to Adrianna, like, basically, God was just basically putting me through it, but I didn't realize why I was going through it, and I ran to everybody. I was getting so frustrated with everybody. I was like, y'all not giving me the answer I need. I'm like, that's why I was getting so mad. I was like, y'all not giving me the answer I need. Y'all not telling me what I want to hear. Not what I want to hear, but the answer. Because I'm like, I'm not getting no help. Like, why is this happening? Why is all this negative things being, like, just being blunt, negative things being said about me, all this stuff? And I just did not know. I was getting so angry, and God was like, why are you going to them? And I just told you. I didn't want to accept what he was telling me, and I kept questioning, like I said, going back to questioning God. Do not question God, like, because he was legit saying, I told you so. Like, he would hit you with a told you so. Yeah,
and that's from a religious standpoint, like, just that does take a lot on your mental health. Like, when you're trying to go around get answers and you just going through it, sometimes I just be laying down at night and I just be thinking everything, like, every bad thing that happened, every this, that, and the other. And another thing that you can do for your mental health is, I have a wall in my room. I have a bunch of quotes on it, and I just try to remind myself, I try to remind myself every day, you're beautiful, you're wonderfully made. And there's a bunch of, like, I'll probably put a picture, but there's like just a bunch of quotes and everything, and I have a little journal that I write in. Like, I really try to remind myself of the good things, and before I go to bed, I type in my notes like, okay, what's one good thing that happened today? You know, just be able to focus more on the good than the bad, because most of the time the bad that you focusing on, it's already worked out, you know. So just think about that.
And then I write my notes on my phone, and then write down good and bad things. Cause like legit, let me tell you, the hardest thing when you go after college or even going through college, you do not want to fall in depression. Like especially after college or during college, because like I said, I felt as if I was like just dying, like I was suffocating. So I'm like basically like I just couldn't breathe, like you know what I'm saying. And legit, I would coop myself in the bed all day and would not get up. Like, cause I was just so sad, and like, I knew why I was sad, but I knew, but I didn't want to accept why I was sad.
Yeah.
I didn't want to accept the fact that, material, you got some people gotta go. Like this is like negative energy, and it, like I said, it's okay to just say let go. If somebody bad say something bad, say everything in the book, let them.
Yeah, you gotta let some go, because it's really their character that's being shown. It's not yours.
And I think that was God was my bad. But but I think that was God showing me, like, I need you to show. I'm trying to show you, like, you know. So even though He didn't show me really everything yet, and later on in months, like He showed me everything that was said and done. But He was like, I'm trying to, like, I just need you to sit back and look. I don't need you to say now. I don't care what they do, little things they do, little things they say. I don't care. I just need you to sit back and just look. I don't need you, like, not even look. Don't pay attention to. Don't react. Don't say. Even though it's so many times I be like, hey, I'm like, oh boy, I'm saying, I'm like just. I'm like, Mom. I remember calling my dad. My mom was like, man, she was like, no. I remember I called Mom. I was like, she was like, no. And I remember I think I had a whole week to calm down. And my mom was like, I said, I'm about to do some confrontation, Mom. And she was like, no, what you doing that for? And she was like, what you doing that for? And like my mom calmed me down, they calmed me down. And just like, I remember time, legit, like I said, I know this is not your part, but friendships, relationships, having the right people in your life. But I mean, sometimes we used to just drive around. Just basically, I think that's why like we had no gas. But legit, we was bad. Legit, yeah, I'm calling my dad all the time. Sorry, Dad, for all the money for last year. But I was to just drive. We used to just drive around, and like they didn't ever realize, but that helped me, cause like I just like we just listen to music and just bump music and just like we ain't had nothing that had to be said, and we be screaming top of lungs, just jamming and stuff, but nothing had to really be said, and we just be cruising. Yeah. And that helped me so much, because I needed that. They probably didn't realize, but I need that breath, fresh air.
Yeah, and let me tell you this. Do not rush your process. There are still times where I get into periods of depression. There are still times where I feel like I feel kind of worthless in some situations. It's like, dang, I'm really not worth that. But do not rush your process. I've come a long way since last year. Let me tell you, I've come a long way since last year, and we both have, but we're still not perfect. And I don't want people to think, oh, well, they got it all together. Boo. I don't have it all together. But not even last year we had it all together. People thought we had, I'd be like, what? Boo, no. What? But I still don't have it all together. And I think that's the beauty of life anyway. It's like, you know, just going through life and just growing. And I think that's the biggest thing that I've learned is like growth takes time. Growth is okay. You know, and along the way, you're going to meet people that, you know, kind of, you feel like they're stunting your growth, but flowers don't grow without a little bit of rain. So, you know, like, just make sure. Pour it, Lord, pour that. Pour it out, but just okay. But make sure, you know, for real, that you really, that you understand that, because there are some days where I get depressed, where I don't want to talk, where I don't want to do this, or where I don't want to do that. And I have better ways of coping now instead of self-harm and going out and doing this, going out and doing that. So just know that it takes time, and just try to find positive ways to kind of react to those feelings that you're having. So yeah. And like I said, and I tell people, I say, it is okay. God gave you anger. I mean, God gave you emotions. Anger, sadness, everything. So feel it. Like, I'm not saying like I'm not saying like basically putting on people, do people wrong. I'm saying sometimes you gonna get angry. In college,
Oh my.
Let me say, people don't tell you the truth, yo.
Listen, and that's one thing. Like, I hate the fact that I tell people all the time I hate school, and like my mom would say when I was little, I used to tell people all the time I did not want to go to college, I did not want to school, but I hate the fact, and I tell even now, like my sophomore year, I was like, I hate college. Like, and you know, some people like Mateo, like, you can't say that. You need to let the young. I said, did y'all let the young people know about the depression, the sadness, the debt, all the stuff? Like, they say, hey, go to college. You gotta do this. You gotta do. They do not tell you that you depression, the sadness, the things you want, the like self-harm, all this other stuff. And they do not tell you that.
And I know like most videos, it's like, oh, this is the type of parties you should go to. This is what you need to wear. No. This is what you need to do. No, like the truth is for real. Like, you know, all the stuff we're talking about is real. Like, I'm not trying to discourage you. I'm not trying to scare you.
Yeah, and we ain't talking. We didn't even go all the way deep with everything.
Yeah,
but
it was it was a lot of good times.
Yeah,
Don't
we
get
had
me
a lot
wrong.
of good times. Yeah,
but it's like, you know, to expose those things that really happen in college is just really important, and just for everybody to understand, like, yo, I know guys, okay, that were hurt and that were depressed, that didn't know what to do. I know guys like that. They go through it too. Don't think it's just females or anything. Just don't think that. Everybody goes through this whole college experience of just.
But everybody handled it differently.
Yes, everybody does handle
drink.
it.
Everybody. Some people, you know what I'm saying, they were just crying, or you know what I'm saying, probably just went out, or just like me, I just went to everybody's room. I just wanted to like drop, like legit. That's what I basically did. But some people legit did drinking, smoking, everything in the book, everything under the sun what you could think of. Thank y'all for watching this video. Like I said, this is my best friend Adrianna. Follow her on every social media site and on her YouTube. Everything in the book. You know, you won't regret it. She does post motivational quotes. Like, I think every day I probably like when she has something in her head, she'll post it. But you know what I'm saying, follow her on there, and hopefully y'all enjoyed. If y'all had, like I said, if you have anything y'all want to say, I'll not do negative comments. Cut it out. But if you have anything you want to say, add on, or just like need help, let us know. We will drop the hotline, some hotlines and stuff that you can contact and everything. But you can always contact us and let us know how you feeling. We are not judging. Listen, we are not judging. I don't care what nobody says. We are not judgmental people. We just gonna tell her how it is. And if we do not, if we do not know what to say, I'll tell Adrianna to say. Go to see Adrianna. Or just basically just let us know. We'll always be there. But I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm glad y'all tuned in. You know what I'm saying? I know it was rocky, but
a little bit. But you know, it wasn't. And we know like it wasn't a regular one. We just wanted to really just tell the truth about college, you know, and not just parties and this and that and the other. You know, just really talking about the most important aspects about college and how to keep yourself healthy, how to maintain yourself. So that's it. All right. Oh my God.